All right, it's Monday morning, and we're going to start with complaints and some custodial interferences today. Hopefully, I make it up to McMinnville without anybody trying to stop at the park and ride 3 times. Beep, beep, beep. But the bus driver never stopped, and there was a white van at the park and ride last week. The day before, I took my kids to go get those fireworks, which was all that weird stuff on the bus. That girl giving me that rock, and that was weird. And how she was down there, and how those men were looking at my kids when we were waiting for the bus stop to begin with in Willamina the day before 4th of July, where they had the cells, because they had those. There's a picture of my kids in the bus area, and you'll see somewhere that there's a number, the transportation number above there. That was a location number for their trafficking organization. This is true. I'm not lying. So the day my kids are supposed to return after the 4th of July, where I realized that my dad was dropping my kids off to be trafficked over at my step-cousins. They're not my family. These people are not my family. That's not really my daddy. He's my stepdad. He's a tribal member. His name is Jesse Robertson Jr., and he is one of 5, but he's the oldest. He has 4 other brothers that originally, but 3 that are alive. He has a Lynn Robertson, goes by Bear. He has a Ken Robertson, who's a good one. He's a nice guy. Their mom is Ida. She seems to not be getting very old. I think that maybe they've been doing some spells or something to keep his mom alive and keep her younger. And my mom maybe too, because she did some weird shit to me. But anyway, I'm not schizophrenic. I am the most fantastic mom. They're doing better now. They're a little bit more quiet about it, but I live in HUD housing, which is a weaponized system against the people that I already beat, because somebody told me about gang stalking, and I was able to educate myself when it was going on. But I've spent 14 years in Yamhill County being weaponized by powerful people who could afford to buy systems and things, like putting up $100,000 to get out of trouble in the courts in 2003. He did. And then that was his own words to me from Chris McGrew. That was his own words. So that's truthful. Everything I say is truthful. I wouldn't say it, okay? And everything I say is truthful, or I wouldn't say it. I am a fantastic mom. I tell my kids, we're all number one. We're all number one. And I would have these great play dates outside. We just had great days. And then we started being harassed a few years ago. And I said, Joe, I'm not the same mom I used to be. But during my spider bite, my goal was to be better than my best. That was my goal. My kids were to return home at the end of the school year. My sister intentionally brainwashed my son how to argue that he needed to be in Sunday school, because when I said, I have other plans for this summer, I had other plans for this summer. They're my children. There's no hurt and harm. You can't prove any. They got a bunch of opinions, and they've taken my children in Yamhill County without giving me a proper hearing, with no affidavit and no evidence. Just doing this. After court the next day, they show up, and they're 2 cops are out there with her. I said, just leave it right there. No, I'm not signing anything. Can you please open the door? I said, no, I'm not opening the door so you can violate my rights, dude, like you just did. There is no evidence of hurt and harm. That lady told me I'd have my kids back in court the next day. She's a liar. These people in Yamhill County, McMinnville, Oregon, it is time to stop being a weapon against your own people for profit. I don't know who the big guy is here, but I saw a lot of people in that courtroom. So if we were to get that video and take a look, those are the bad guys. Those are the bad attorneys, because every bad guy has an attorney, right? And the good guy like me, what do we have here? Freedom? Do we have freedom? And do I have freedom right now? Freedom to enjoy my summer with my kids and teach them as well as I planned? Because I'll tell you, I had bright kids who were happy and had never been hurt. Then we go walking back towards home, and my girl starts throwing a fit over the bridge badly. I guess that's because, look, we were fine under the bridge cooling off. We were fine playing, but then as soon as we got closer to my mom's, they start throwing fits, really bad ones, and they don't want to go anywhere. My daughter was running out the door to go with me with no pants on the day I went to go get them, when they didn't let me have them. When I knocked on the door, it was locked. Opened it. Pee-wee opened it. He had no glasses on. His hair is completely messed up. And my boy's under the bed. My daughter's in the closet with no pants on. She was running out the door holding her pants to go with me, while my mom was standing there acting like she was 40, blocking the door. So they are the people that don't treat me well. So if I walk in, I go, hey, I want to tell you something about this guy from Portland. Pee Wee just interrupts me and goes, I'm not taking you to Parliament. I'm not, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, you just said 3 things and I've not even said what I came here to say to you. So it's his speech. If you hear in court from previous, I heard my dad yelling, so I went out. Exactly, you heard my dad yelling. I don't have a voice because these people aren't respecting me properly the way every family member or daughter or family member should be respected with love and kindness and respect. And you know where you actually care, you understand and you care and you can talk and make a solution. No, not these guys. These guys, it's trickery, manipulation, and profit for their own selves and how they look in public. But they're really bad people, and they actually need to go to jail for sexual exploitation of a minor. When I was 15, they let a 38-year-old have me. My mom let a 38-year-old have me and didn't give a flying fuck about me. So I'm lucky to be as great as I am, being that, well, I don't know, there's some abuse pictures from a satanic circle that I have over here. I have a picture of me. So never found the report of that. She changed my name, which is exactly what's going on right now, too. Somebody's using my ID for $300,000, it said. I wrote a note to, or a letter to Social Security saying I didn't make that money. But my sister's changing my birth certificate and acting all weird. I should have had my license in May. After 14 years, the Fed cartel Chris McGrew bought to get me the DUI. And then my mom and her manipulation of 9 months of DUI classes. I go to pick up my certificate. They rip it up and say someone called and said I'd been drinking. 9 months of DUI classes with good attendance and great reviews. My worker left. They gave me a new worker. But it was a setup all along. It was a setup to keep me down. Now 14 years. Weaponized government to keep me down. It is not okay. I'm not going to give up. I'm not okay. I am a mom. I am a woman. I have the right to freedom in my country. And I'm going to seek it for not only myself, for all women. This is not okay. How long has this weaponized system been going on in these HUD housing? How long has this been going on? I need you moms to write me a story. Tell me your story. Get a hold of me. I want to know your story, moms, about Yamhill County, Polk County's, Marion County's weaponized system and how your life has been. Have you experienced gang stalking? Do you know what gang stalking is? Look it up. Read how they do it. Educate yourselves so that way at least you know when they're doing it so it won't make you completely crazy. They'll also send people. I was just told that $50,000 was put out for extra security. Why don't you mind your own business? By my daughter's great uncle. Okay? Whose family is involved in the pot and cartel, married to cartel, but in pot. So bikers married cartel, and they work together here in this deep state, and they think they're all powerful, have no respect for women. This is a guy that has like 5-6 cars, and he asked me, well, what happened to your car? Well, what happened? I don't have a man around who's a good man anymore because you guys don't respect women. Vietnam War must have really done some fucking damage on our men because right now, men don't respect women whatsoever, and us women don't respect men either, okay? So, anyway, dear Yeshua, I just want to pray right now that I am successful today at holding the law as the law and requesting return of my children and custodial interference for this. There is no evidence of harm. There is simply one person's opinion or 3 people's opinion. The same people that are making these opinions have filed in your court before and then refiled saying they shouldn't have done that. They've done that for this housing, filed and redone it. They have tried to get my kids before. They've lied, told my kids to lie about taxes. I'm asking you, Father, Spirit guides, everyone, let me serve my purpose. And let my children be reunited with me and let us enjoy our life moving forward without any more withholding of our rights to freedom and pursuit of happiness. I please ask you for all your support. Thank you, everyone. I am a good mom and a good person, and I've been lied about, and I believe that spells maybe have been put into food that was given to people. There is a trick that he does so he doesn't have to speak bad things. He's a trickster. He learned how to, Pee Wee Jesse Robinson Jr. told me his own self, his stepdad learned him to be a mass manipulator. And they sure are, aren't you guys, huh? Anyway, those are my children, and I know that you're doing bad things to them because you've made them fear me, their mom. You've made them fear their mom. Oh, they're scared. You're scared of mom? They're not scared of me. They want to be with me so badly. You guys you're brainwashing them with money, devices. They can't take devices if they come here. They wouldn't have internet if they came here because of my sister's manipulation. It is really terrible stuff, and you all belong in prison is really where you all belong, and so that's what I'm seeking, okay? I want my kids returned immediately, and I'm going to go work at that today. Thank you. I just wanted to share how I am today. Get her done, right? Go restore the USA. Fight, fight, fight.